modeled exactly like the top of this guy. So it has that relief, which I'm not sure what that relief is there for.
Which relief are you referring to?
Uh,
Show me in that part again.
yeah, right there. You see, it has that lip.
Oh yeah, and I think that was crucial to make it fit right, though. Believe it or not.
Really? No, the nut, that nut that's in there fits inside here.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know what that's there for. So just to be safe, I matched it. So it is the same thickness, same everything. It is literally this part grafted to the part I already had, but I had to redraw it because I wanted to make sure it's parametric.
Hmm. Yeah, I think that will be perfect. I will just draw that up and.
Yep. But yeah. So Fusion as a motion controlling platform, uh, not. I'm good the way
Um,
it is. I'm
yeah,
I'm happy.
I think it would certainly open up avenues for people who don't want to deal with the complexities of Linux CNC or the
Yeah.
unreliability of, it's going to come with some harder requirements, of their own. But I could totally see them doing that as a complete one-stop, sort of uh, in-house prototyping setup. I
Yeah.
could I
DIY.
could
Yeah.
see it. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
But and the thing I like about Fusion too, and I think we touched on this a little bit, is the cam. I mean, it's so funny. It's like I should have started messing with it a lot sooner than I have. But the thing I love is like, so the part that you see there with the converter and everything above, I have that modeled in. So that's the tool holder. All the end mills I have are measured exactly, including flute height and stick out and everything. The hold downs, the Mitsumi bed, everything is modeled in. So when I have a part, I literally place it in the virtual platform, go into CAM, since it knows what tool the tool holder looks like, and it knows all my tools, and those tool numbers line up to whatever Linux CNC has. It knows the hold downs I have are the fixtures. It knows the Mitsumi bed is the bed. And when it mills it out, it actually checks for collision. It'll tell me, oh, wait, I'm going to get too close to this area here, and I can actually adjust the tool path.
Yeah,
Or
I'll be talking to you when I get that far because that'll be I need to figure all that out. That's going to be awesome.
it's freaking amazing. Now, the thing that's kind of funny is like I'm so used to Aspire that the terms are completely fucking different. Like, let's see, let me go into something I actually. So this guy here, um, this little acrylic thing that I keep thinking the camera's up there, but it's down here because my phone's upside down because it's charging. So the thing that amazed me, where are they? Oh, right here. So this is the first test cut. I wanted to do something, and I wanted to test fit something, and I figured, okay, well, I'm going to do the touch probe, so let's do this. And originally, I was going to use these piezo sensors or speakers as the sensor, but then I ended up using a force sensor. So this guy here, I mean, it fits exactly in that part completely. And the part that was amazing about this too is that I had it, like I said, it knew the tool, it knew the end mill, it knew the clamps, it knew everything, placed it on the bed, or I guess the wasteboard, and I had the clamps. And for some strange reason, because I had to keep the clamps so close to it, I was like, I don't really want to get that close, and it would throw an error every time it got to this area. So what I ended up doing was creating a sketch, drawing a circle that's slightly smaller, and then what's interesting in the cam, you can actually say confined to contour, and then it confined it inside that circle, and
Oh,
then that
nice.
way it avoided the clamps. It's awesome. You can literally virtually run the entire job without even getting up out of your chair and going into the garage.
Well, and that's what NYCCNC's been doing for John over there has been doing forever. Since he's been using it, he always simulates. I just have never. But
It's pretty freaking cool, man. That's some powerful shit for free. Wait. No, the 3-axis cam stuff is in there. It's not live fourth axis. Continuous fourth axis is not available. You can do indexing, which I am absolutely 100% okay with. But continuous would be sweet. But for something that's free, that's pretty damn cool. Seriously.
It's pretty awesome.
That is pretty freaking cool. Considering I've been using Fusion for so long and never bothered touching the cam, and then just recently I was like, let's see what the whole hubbub is about. It's like, holy crap. I mean, like, it does the feeds. Okay, so here's another thing, too. The feeds and speed calculator in it was a little aggressive because I'm not dealing with a Haas here. So all I had to do was just dial it back on the Linux CNC side, which is basically on the on the pendant, you can actually adjust the feed rate override. Yeah. So I think it's set to like 97% from 100. Completely okay. And the thing that's interesting too is like when I do cuts and then finishing passes, I noticed that it ramped the RPMs from 9,700 to 13,000 on finishing passes. And I'm like, what the hell is it doing? And holy crap, it leaves, I mean, okay, granted, this is acrylic, but it leaves a very smooth, like, it looks like I sand it, but I absolutely did not. I mean, that is pretty freaking cool.
Huh.
But
pretty cool.
Basically, HSM Works, I think, basically is what it is.
It is. They bought HSM Works and...
Most impressive.
And now they give it away free.
This one. Yeah. Wait. They give that away for free?
Well, actually, you can download a version of HSM Works for SolidWorks for free, I think, yes.
But that's like the watered down version, right?
Yeah.
Because I have a...
Yeah, I think it is slightly watered down, I think.
Yeah, I think it's watered down. I have used the Plasma Cam. That's actually a piece of software. The
HSM Express.
What was that?
HSM Express.
Yeah. But I think they're one of the same, right?
Yep.
Yeah. But I use the cam profile for the plasma cutter on the guy with the plasma cutter, and it totally works. That's absolutely nuts.
Your camera is totally getting all weird colored blue and red. Is that you got some lights going on?
Yeah, there's motion. My wife just got home. There's a LFX bulb right here, so when there's motion in the front, it flashes blue.
Not to change the subject, but I'm gonna for 1 second. I have that problem where I have to figure out how you're flashing those because I can't figure out how to make them flash, but on motion. But they I have it so that if there is motion, they turn blue for a minute and then shut off. So they turn on, turn blue, turn off. Except that the next time there's motion in the living room to turn the lights on, they come on. They just come on. They just come on blue.
Yeah, there is a reset. There is a way. I think it's restore last state. Off the top of my head.
From the website.
I'm gonna jump into the API real quick because I don't remember off the top of my head. My brain is in machine kit mode. So my dog just heard my wife get home, and he absolutely almost broke his neck to get down the hallway. That is hilarious. Wow. He moved with a purpose. Mommy's here. Still pay attention to me.
Dad doesn't ever do anything with me.
Yeah, except clean up your pee and poop, and when you get stuck in places, I rescue you. But that doesn't count, does it?
You don't ever play with me, You've played with Fusion, haven't you, Tony?
I poked around a little bit and decided it wasn't for me.
I just was curious. I thought you had.
Yeah, a little bit.
It's
and then
just
so you primarily use Onshape, right?
Yeah, I did also played a lot more with Onshape, and that just kind of gravitated more towards that mode. But now I've got Inventor, so it doesn't matter.
And you like that better?
It's what I got to use for work, so.
I hear good things about Inventor, but you can't use it in OS X. It's Windows only. I have a license for it, but I have yet to install it.
Yeah, this is my brand new $4,000 or $5,000 notebook is still dead for the 8th week in a row.
Wow.
So September of last year, Onshape raised $80 million, huh? Wow. So they, interesting. $80 million in VC funding.
Well, don't forget that's all basically the original SolidWorks guys.
Yeah, and Peter Levine joined Onshape's board of directors too. That's interesting. Part of Anderson. Yeah.
Oh, that's funny. Atari Vault is on Steam now.
What is?
Atari Vault.
Oh yeah.
It's 100 of the most popular games.
I'll be right back.
See ya. No, I guess we will be the only ones tonight. Nobody else.
I think Andrew passed out.
Something. Yeah, he's nowhere to be found. No more Dave anymore either. Wonder whatever happened to him.
Yeah, it seems like it's been a while since we've seen him.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure what happened to him. I guess I sure hope everything's okay.
Well, yeah.
I guess I never thought of that. But yeah, I did play with Onshape for about a week, and I just I spent about a week with it, and it was fine. I mean, it's not a lot different for me. It didn't seem a lot different for me than any other typical CAD package.
Well, they all have their
Yeah.
their angle that they use.
Fusion is definitely different. It's not for everybody. It's not for anybody who's a traditional CAD guy like SolidWorks. Going from SolidWorks to Fusion would be like, oh my God, I'm gonna pull my hair out.
Well, that's one thing. Since I've been doing a lot with Design Spark CAD.
Yeah.
Trying to do stuff in Inventor, it's like, well, how do I do this? Oh, you can't do that.
Really?
Oh yeah. It's like, well, okay, I drew this thing. How do I move this face or extrude that? And they're like, well, you have to start with a sketch of that. You create your sketch and project the geometry. I'm like, well, why can't I just move the face?
Don't tell me you can't.
But apparently that's there, but you have to go into like a special surfacing mode. So you're doing, instead of volumetric stuff, you're doing surfaces.
Why does this always reset?
Well, where the hell was that? I just found the pictures that he's put up.
Which ones?
Well, of that 3-lobe mounting thing, and then the DeWalt. But it's only on my phone. It's not on my PC at all. I don't get it.
Yeah, that's the little bottom piece from the DeWalt, and how it's not symmetrical. That's quite weird. She bring you gifts?
She gave me food.
Popeyes.
Hell yeah!
Rockin'. That stuff's the best.
Oh, there's no Popeyes out here, man.
Oh.
The Chick-fil-A, that's about it. That's the cool.
Well, you guys got In-N-Out Burger, though, right?
Yeah, we do, but whatever. Yeah. I make a better burger.
See, in Florida, we had Sonic's, and I love Sonic's, but the closest Sonic here is like 3 hours away.
I got one about...
Oh, you know what I miss from the South? Is Crystal.
Is what?
Never heard of it. Crystal Meth?
No, yeah, no. It's a burger place called Crystal's.
No.
I think you're from this area at one point, right?
Me or Eves?
John.
Well, Chicago, Naperville.
Okay, so you know White Castle.
Oh yeah.
Crystal. Take a White Castle burger, blow it up to the size of a real burger. That's Crystal.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's awesome. Well, let it be known, I'm a huge fan of White Castle.
I was just gonna say you just have to eat 10 of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crystals, you just get one and you're good.
I do love me some White Castle. I worked at a White Castle once when I was a lot younger.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't in a good area of town. It was one of the White Castles where they had armed guards in the store at night.
Oh yeah, nice.
Yeah, that was always fun.
What was that other restaurant that was a guy's name?
Cal's?
No.
Carl's Jr.?
Close. Was he a singer?
Oh.
Like a tiny chicken burger thing? Something Rogers?
Kenny Rogers? In the first edition?
No.
Used to be a bunch of them in New York. Is it Kenny Rogers? Now you said that?
No, I don't think so. Don't think so. Can you do sheet metal stuff in Fusion? I think I've asked this before.
Like bending?
Yeah, like...
I don't think so.
Oh, Inventor does that really well.
Yeah, I need to design something for my... I got this.
I mean, I've done it by like modeling it the way it should be, and then trying to figure out what the bends would be. But
well, that's the cool thing about the sheet metal plug-in or whatever extension in Inventor, is you draw it up and then hit unfold, and it comes in. It gives you a flat pattern.
Oh, nice.
But when you have sheet metal vendors like I do at the day job, and if I get close to giving them that, they're just like, no, just draw us a picture of what you want.
Oh, it says a preview of where Fusion 360 is headed as we enter 2016. And one of the things is design straight break sheet metal and document the flat pattern. So it looks like it's coming. This year. Yeah, that'll be neat. That'll be good. I still don't. They're making some design changes to drawing functionality too, but the drawing functionality in Fusion, even after I see what they're going to, is not going to be anywhere close to what you can do within SolidWorks.
Oh, really?
The drawing functionality is just, for drawing a part out to send to an engineer is phenomenal in SolidWorks. Just as it should be. I mean, it's a pretty mature package. But yeah, it's leaps and bounds. It's just weird trying to do a drawing for a part in Fusion. It's your annotation types are pretty limited, like your dimensioning.
Really?
I like that there's a style called ornate, basically. I think that's what it's called, where
Oh,
you
ordnance, yeah.
ordnance, yeah. You can't do that, not really at all.
Wow.
SolidWorks does it really, really well, but you can't do that in Fusion. And when you get a part that's complicated,
I just got another picture on my watch.
another picture on your watch.
From the Hangout.
Oh,
Not on the computer, only on my phone.
what?
It is Kenny Rogers.
It is.
Wow.
You're right, Eves.
I just remember them in New York. It was like a chicken burger place thing.
Who knew he had a restaurant chain? He's also a photographer. Did you know that?
No.
Yeah, actually a fairly good one. I think mostly like medium format and large format stuff, I think.
All right, I made myself giggle. He's also a gambler.
Yeah, yeah. Glenn Campbell is on his last leg, I hear, sounds like.
Eesh.
Doesn't sound like he's doing very well.
Well, it was like the other day with Gary Shandling. It's like, what?
Yeah, that blew my mind, too. Yeah. Not that I didn't care for him so much, but still kind of weird. Yeah. Well, geez, I don't think anybody else. Tyler said he would. He responded, said he would join in, and I sent him a link. But
Was that an email or?
no, in the when I send out these invitations to this,
Oh, yeah, yeah.
you can respond yes or no, and I got a yes from him, so I assumed he'd be there.
Has anybody heard from Dave?
No, I'm gonna have to call him just to make sure he's okay, because I haven't heard from him in a long time. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what he's up to. Well, you gotta wait for it to start. If you don't let it start up, let's see. Where is it?
It's one of the neat things I found so I got that borescope that Andrew was talking about.
Oh, you did get one.
Yeah. And then I had a wild idea. I'm like, hey, I wonder if I can use my USB on the go and use that camera with my phone, like a remote viewing thing.
Did it work?
Works great.
That's awesome. Yeah, it's freaking awesome. Like just an endoscope, portable.
Right. Plug the borescope into my phone and you walk around with it. Hold it right there.
Wow, I would never have thought. That's pretty good. Okay, here's our. That is I got my Bloom Sky weather station up on my house, up on the roof, and that is the link if you're interested. It does daily, every 24 hours, it does a time-lapse loop. That's kind of cool.
Why the hell is this only on my phone?
It is kind of weird.
Hmm.
Looks like a UFO landing in the very beginning of your time lapse.
Yeah, with the sun, the glare. Yeah. There's no moon right now to see, so you can't see that. But it's cool because then about 5 o'clock you start seeing the moon come up too. I mean, it's right in that same view. But yeah, pretty cool. Pretty happy with it, especially for the price. It was free.
Can't beat that.
Nope. Pretty cool product. I wish it had an anemometer on it, but that's about the only thing. Well, that and our actual rain gauge, but that doesn't matter so much for us out here.
Since it doesn't really rain.
Not really, no. It's not showing today's map yet. Maybe in a little bit. That was yesterday's video. Yeah, pretty cool. It's also on Weather Underground. They work with Weather Underground and links on their page too.
So is the GPS image there accurate? I would hope not.
I don't live on the highway, if that's what you're insinuating.
Oh, okay.
I don't live on Highway 163, but it's very close to me. If you look at that map and were to go to Regulus Street just to the left, I'm on Regulus Street. So why it's obfuscating my location a little bit, I don't know.
Well, that's good.
Kind of weird. Yeah. It's just about 500 feet less or to the left of the highway.
Oh, does Tony know about your cops episode?
No, I don't think I've told anybody other than, I think you were the only one that knew, just because I was stressed and dealing with it. But so on the 9th of March, Tony, my Toyota Tundra was stolen. I don't know if you knew that.
Yeah, I remember you mentioning that.
So it was taken at 1:41 in the morning. And I thought for sure, vehicles here in this town get stolen and end up in Tijuana pretty quick. They actually have wreckers and crates, and they ship them off, and off they go. And so I didn't, I thought, well, I'm screwed, waiting for the check for the insurance company. And our UPS driver, we know him. He's a super cool guy, and he was on vacation, but I told the driver that was filling in for him, I said, when he gets back into town, let me know, and I'll just tell him the truck he likes, tell him our truck has been stolen. So the driver said, yeah, sure. So he got back into town, 3 or 4 days ago. His first day back at about 5 or 5:30, something like that in the afternoon, he knocks on my door and says, I know where your truck is.
Really?
Yeah, it's like, I'm like 99% sure it's your truck. There's a lot of identifying marks on it to make, it's a sticker on it and the antenna's on it. And
wow.
he's like, yeah, I know exactly where it's at. And so he told me, and my son and I get the location and hop into his Jetta and kind of head over about a mile from my house.
Wow.
Yep, to this predominantly low-income Hispanic neighborhood. Lots of gang activity, lots of just bad stuff. And this is not a place I would be at night. So we head over there, and sure enough, like within a first second, we're like, yep, that's it. And so we stop and call the cops. And cops say, okay, well, keep an eye on it. If anybody gets in it, call us back. I've put this at the top of our list. First available officer is going to be there. And so we couldn't quite see it from where we were at. We could see it, but it wasn't a one-way street, so we were worried he was going to sneak out the backside if somebody saw us.
Oh, yeah.
So we moved to kind of like a different, the intersection of where the truck was at, kind of parked and just waited. And there was a house across the street with 2 Hispanic males that were kind of like working on, looked like they were working on a truck anyway. They were at their house and working on this truck, and we parked across the street from them so we could see the truck and keep an eye on it. And we're there for probably 10 minutes waiting for the police to get there. And during this whole time, the guys on that truck are really watching us like hawks. And so we just basically just keep waiting and watching these guys to see what they're doing, because we're like, if we gotta leave quick, we better be able to leave quick. About 10 minutes go by, and a Nissan Titan pulls up behind us. Well, it pulls up, comes down the street, turns around, comes up, pulls up behind us, about 2 car lengths behind us. And this young, probably 27-year-old Hispanic male gets out, probably 250-pound, big guy, gets out, goes and talks to those 2 guys working on the truck for about 2 seconds. I think they handed him a key. I think that's what that was about. And he talks to him for 2 seconds and then starts walking down the street towards where my truck was parked. And kind of, he's being very cautious and not just running to the truck and taking off. He's being very cautious about it. And so we just keep watching, and sure enough, long story short, I mean, it takes him a while, and he's just hemming and hawing, but he gets in the truck and drives up. So I call 911 back and say, well, a guy came and got in the truck and took off. So we started following him. And yeah, we start following him, and he starts going down one street, and he's zigzagging down these streets, and ends up on one of the main streets out here, Linda Vista, and but and I'm on the phone with the cops live at this point, and they're like, they just want to know what street we're on every time we pass one. I'm letting them know what street we're on, and then once we hit Linda Vista, we start seeing cops, like no lights on, but we start seeing them coming in the opposite direction of us. And as soon as they see us, they get behind us.
Nice.
And there's like 5 of them, and they tell us, okay, pull off. There's a post office we pass. She says, pull off, go to the post office, wait there for us. And we pull off, and then you hear the sirens, and they go after this guy, and he pulls into a Yum Yum Donuts. He didn't run or nothing, but he pulled into a Yum Yum Donuts, and but yeah, he's screwed. If you figure grand theft for the truck felony, plus there's close to 10 grand worth of shit in the truck with radios and camera gear and everything.
Oh man.
So that's another, grand larceny, another felony. Plus the truck was used in a robbery, and if he's tied to that, that's another felony.
Holy cow.
So in California, there's the 3 strikes law, and if you're convicted of 3 felonies, you go to prison for life.
Jesus.
So, and my guess is this guy is a nobody. The guys in that house, there's something going on there, because there was a bunch of large 4-wheel drive trucks there. This Titan that was there, my truck, there was a GMC hybrid SUV, big sucker, that drove by and was talking to those guys. So there's something going on there, and we waited about 3 hours, and once they got this guy processed and everything, they came and got us and told us to come on over, and we were right there with the guy getting processed. They were frisking him and everything. They wouldn't give me like 2 minutes with him, but oof. But yeah, so we got the truck back that night, and a fair amount of damage, about $7,000 for the damage. It goes in on Tuesday, and I won't see it for, they say, about 17 days. So, but it'll be supreme when it comes out, so that'll be good. So yeah, it's been an interesting, since the 9th. It's just been my days. It's just been me dealing with insurance and everything else, trying to recoup as much as I could. I realized I was probably going to lose. We've only had the truck for like 7-8 months, so I couldn't imagine we'd lose that much, but who knows?
Right.
Bad boys. What you got?
Yeah. God, it was so fun. Oh, I was just so glad they caught somebody driving it, And I'm sure the insurance companies are happy too, right? Because, they've got somebody they can go after. Granted, he's got no money, I'm sure, but yeah, I think that guy probably is a nobody. He's just somebody they called and said, "Hey, dude, we need you to come and move this truck." He's just a lackey, and he'll be going away for a long time.
Man.
Yeah.
Bad timing.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a fun night. I'm trying to think of what to do for the UPS driver. There's a place out here called Morton's Steakhouse. Oh, yeah. Well, they're a chain, Morton's, yeah. And I think I'm gonna get him a $200 gift certificate to Morton's. Let him take his girlfriend or whoever out. Yeah, because I'd have never had it back had he not seen it.
You see, you should have had a dash cam, because we could have saw that.
Yeah. Yeah, I should have done it live. There's so many things in hindsight. Yeah, we should have. The minute he told us and we were taking off, I should have had my camera just rolling, just B-roll. Yeah. Yeah, it was pretty fun. My wife is a little worried because it's not a. Whenever you hear of gunshots in this area, it's always that area or somebody getting shot. That's always that area. So, yeah. And she was all worried. Weren't you worried that he could see who you were? No, he's going away. He's going away. Yeah, that was fun. I've already got one of the radios replaced from insurance. That was pretty quick. She basically just said, go buy it and send me the bill. So
Multiple radios?
ham radios.
Ah.
Yeah. So. Yeah, they were all.
Those SDRs?
I have a couple of these SDR dongle thingies, these things, which are kind of fun to play. Yeah, they're actually kind of fun. They actually work really well for like looking at Wi-Fi in your area. You want to figure out. There's a couple of programs that will use them specifically for looking at Wi-Fi, and they work really well for that. So you can kind of get a view of what channels are used in your area and try to minimize overlap as much as possible.
Yeah, a buddy of mine uses it for watching airplanes.
Yep, I do too. That's what my system in the garage does. Yep, exactly. With one of those ADSB. Yep. I upload to Flight Tracker, I think is the place they upload to. Yeah, that's pretty fun. I mean, it's, I guess in the grand scheme of things, it doesn't serve much purpose, but it's kind of fun.
Right.
I have a little rinky-dinky scanner.
Yeah.
PR800 GRC, something like that. And when I was in Fort Lauderdale, I was able to hear all the inbound flights, but here I can't scan any of the airline stuff at all. I don't know what the deal is there.
You should be able to. Yeah, it shouldn't matter where you're. None of that is encrypted.
Yeah, and what's interesting too is Quantico and Fort Belvoir are nearby, and I could scan stuff from out there, and they're two military bases. I don't actively do it because I don't know, but still.
No, that's all legal within as long as The only time it gets sketchy is if it were encrypted and you were cracking the encryption to listen to what they were saying. Then the laws get broken. But other than that, if it's in clear, you're fine.
Yeah. And what's funny is that the Washington Metro, which is the train system, which is how far do you think?
Probably about 50 miles.
50 miles from here, and 15. Oh, okay. I was thinking 50, but 15. Yeah. And I can hear or catch everything, including like arguments amongst the employees, which is hilarious.
Is that just with the antenna that's on it, or do you have an outdoor antenna?
It has an antenna on it, but it's an upgraded antenna. It's not the stock one.
Oh, wow.
I think up to 900 megahertz. It's not in here right now, but I don't know. I mean, it's configured for this area. I mean, I get law enforcement and all that stuff. That all works, but yeah, it's nice to listen to incoming airlines, like commercial airliners and stuff.
I like to do that too. Yeah, I do that, and my son is a dispatch for the. My youngest son is a dispatch for the transit police here in San Diego, and so I like to listen to that channel, 163.5 megahertz. I listen to that. That's kind of fun. And he works the 8 p.m. to 6 a.m. shift or 5 a.m. shift, whatever it is. So I like listening to that. That's pretty fun.
Yeah, what's interesting in Fort Lauderdale, I mean, they're both trunking technologies. I think the one in Fort Lauderdale was the Motorola something or another, Motorola 25.
Yeah.
And in here, it's something completely different. But the ones here are like clearly labeled. Since they're trunked, you can actually see the text that's being transmitted. And it's all properly organized, and you can tell which one's east and which one's west. Fort Lauderdale's a big jumble. You have no idea who's talking.
It's the one out here. There's an RTS regional trunking system, and it is also Motorola, and it's also very well laid out. And my trunking scanner was in my trunk, and that's in my truck, and that's long gone too. So, but yeah, you saw all the the text. It would tell you who it was, and everything was kind of cool. Yeah. The scanner I had in the truck was a handheld trunking scanner, and it had a mode that you could put it in of just a mode that, so if you were in an area and something was happening and you wanted to know what was being talked about on the radios, you could hit a button and it would put the attenuator on so that there wasn't a lot of you weren't going to receive signals from far away, and it would scan just maybe within a half mile or 1,000 feet or so of where you were, so you could find out if what was going on. That was really handy.
Yeah, this scanner had that too. It was called Local Emergency. That was literally what the button was labeled.
Neat. Yeah, I love that.
It did its signal strength, so it actually figures out more than that.
Yeah, the new radio, the newer stuff. Mine was an older Radio Shack one, and it was nothing like that. It just was a brute force manual scan. It just turned the
Continuation.
Well, it basically just turned the gain down on the receive. It just turned the gain down so that it was not picking up everything. So pretty dumb, but it worked. It worked. I liked it.
Good.
No, I liked it. It was handy, especially in the truck on the road.
Yeah, one of the craziest things when I just got that scanner, I was in Fort Lauderdale, and I plugged it in. There was a software that came with it, and then there was like this, preliminary database and blah blah blah. So I configured it for my area, and I thought it was picking up local PD in my area. And it's interesting when you listen to police traffic, they don't identify where they are. I mean, sometimes they'll say street names or whatnot. And I was listening to this conversation for about 15, 20 minutes, and they said they're in Metro Dade, which is like pretty much Miami, as south as Miami as you could possibly go, which is like I'd say about 40 to 50 miles from where I was. But then they were talking in depth about, okay, yeah, I see him. Okay, everybody in code 2. All right, we're changing to frequency 4. But since it's a trunking scanner, it's following this conversation. And basically they're like tailing this guy, and they're instructing him not to go into the apartment yet. Wait for him to go. We need to make sure he contacts this certain individual. And it was like this in-depth, like watching a TV show but not watching it but listening to it. Except it's actually happening. Pretty crazy shit.
Which scanner do you have?
I think it's a GRE PR800.
I want to see that one.
That's nothing fancy. and that company's long gone too, because I was looking for updated drivers for it, and of course I have to run a Windows XP VM for it.
The PSR 800.
Yeah, PSR 800. Sorry.
Oh yeah. That's a nice little unit.
That's
with an SD card slot.
Yep. It's pretty neat. I like it. It's simple. It has the NOAA button on it too, so if there's an emergency, it automatically starts blaring. It's creepy.
The NOAA channel.
Oh yeah. So they're using basically an old Mac Classic. It sounds like, because remember the old voice or text to talk voice.
Yeah.
That, and then randomly there's this woman voice that the current area. It's just creepy as hell.
What is that from?
It's the NOAA. I mean,
oh yeah.
Radio. I'm sure it rotates between the two voices. I'll be right back.
The NOAA radio.
Every end of the world movie you've ever seen.
The NOAA radios out here all use this AT&T TrueSpeak stuff, and it's actually really good. So your radio, Eves, was replaced by the Whistler WS-1080.
Oh God.
Will he respond to me if I start doing it?
I got headphones on.
Oh, that's too bad.
That's unusually that's the gray,
Really?
not the cockatoo. I just wait for her to do the old Motorola flip phone dying noise. My daughter had one and never charged it.
How old are your kids now?
Baby's 24 now.
Wow.
23 or 24.
You get to see them much?
You know, holidays, special occasions, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
My oldest actually moved down to Indianapolis for a job. They just had a baby about 5-6 months ago, so I'm an old man grandfather now.
I couldn't imagine not being able to see my kids. It's tough not to see. My daughter lives in Minneapolis, and that's hard enough.
Yeah. Well, that's the nice thing about Indy. It's only 4 hours away.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, but my daughter is living in Dallas now, so the only time I see her is like Christmas, Thanksgiving, that kind of thing. But she's off. Her boyfriend is coordinates travel for a national restaurant chain. So somehow he's got like all these miles, and like every couple of weeks they're going somewhere first class. Like yesterday, they flew first class to Beijing.
What?
Yeah.
Wow.
Before that, they were in Spain. Before that, they were in Tokyo.
Do they get that frequent flyer miles with it too?
I have no idea. I doubt it.
Yeah, they've been Beijing for a while, but that was the last time we were using it.
Yeah, 'cause like, so once they get back from Beijing, they've got like 2 other trips planned somewhere. Crazy, I'm sure. Oh yeah, there's the cockatoo.
Hmm?
The bird.
Oh, yeah.
Looks like a little walkie-talkie, right?
Yeah, it was right on the edge of my bed for a while.
So what sort of upgrades do you have in process on your machine?
Can you really call them upgrades at this point, or is it? I don't. Yeah, I suppose.
Well, if it ain't running yet, it's got to be an upgrade.
And it's only really ever been running for about a week.
Oh, so it was running.
Yeah, it was running at one point, and then I quickly realized that it wasn't sufficient, and so I have about so I have the end plates that Dave designed on there on Y, and then these new ones on X, so that gives me about 6 inches or so of clearance. That was the big thing, was just having more clearance. And so what's in work right now is converting Z to the C-beam from Open Builders. And I was just going to continue to use the Maker slide for X. But I think in hindsight I'm just going to convert that to C-beam as well. That'll be nice. So the only belts will be on Y, and those are the new. I just got these new 15 millimeter fiberglass reinforced belts that are, God, they're thicker. They're going to be great. They will never break or stretch. So that's it as it stands right now, anyway. So belts, bigger belts on Y, and Maker slide on X and Z. Or not Maker slide, but Open Builder C-beam.
And so with the extra height you've got, you need that C-beam stuff, right? Or did you have something figured out for the Maker slide?
No, I didn't. I would have been fine without going to the Maker slide, or without going to the C-beam. There were some things I would have needed to have the workpiece, whatever I was cutting, raised up a little bit, because it wouldn't have reached the bottom of the bed but it will now. So, yeah, I'm excited. I just want it done.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah.
Just stop.
Seems like every time we have these calls, about this time he gets chatty. It's his chatty time.
He's normally quiet until he hears talking, and then he wants in on the action. I had a conure once that was generally a quiet bird. I mean, they screech once in a while. But when the vacuum would run, oh my God, he would always try to beat the vacuum for volume. So that was fun.
Let's see.
Well, apparently my scanner has decided to hide right now.
Oh. I looked it up on Universal Radio. I see it was replaced by the Whistler WS-1080.
The Whistler.
The Whistler, which goes up to 1,300 megahertz now.
Oh, nice.
But it includes a couple of new digital trunking modes, APCO, and that's pretty cool. Yeah, I need to pick up another one of those too. Some states it's illegal to have a scanner in your car, but
yep.
Minnesota, it was fine as long as you were an amateur radio operator. Otherwise, they just assumed you were nefarious.
Oh, it was kind of cool. I got it mostly because I was so close to the Fort Lauderdale International Airport. I wanted to listen in. It's very cool. It's fun to listen to.
But that's a cool thing about, I used to fly in United a lot, and they used to be able to, you could, one of the stations in the in-cabin audio was cockpit stuff. And that was kind of
Yeah, they don't do that anymore at all.
No.
Yeah. Yeah, I miss that. I used to like that a lot. I flew Virgin Atlantic one time from San Francisco to London, and I flew upper class, which I think is their first class or whatever. It was for work, and at Virgin Atlantic at that point, if you were first class, the cockpit, you were up by, where I was right up by the cockpit, and that cockpit door was just open for the whole flight. You could just go in and talk to the pilots, and takeoff and landing, they closed it, but after that it was open. What on earth?
So Andrew's not coming?
And doesn't sound like anybody's coming.
We're here, damn it.
Yeah, there's some weirdness in this design that shows up on a drawing. I'm not sure why.
Which one?
Oh, on your corrected air diverter. Here, let me save it and have you.
Define weirdness.
Well, look at the drawing. I just saved it in there. There's these like lines that come off of those lobes. I'm not sure. It's weird. I don't know. Part of that is the chamfer, I think. I don't know. Maybe not. I don't know. It's like, what do I
Yeah.
dimension? What do I dimension to there?
Yeah, that's why. Oh, okay, the one I did? Oh, no, wait.
No, the one I did. There's a new one in there that I just drew. Should be the
Oh.
first one in there.
Um,
Related parts. I think it's in there. Yeah.
Oh, there it is. Okay. Took a bit. Yeah, that's what I was asking if you were going to just send them to IGS because I would have no clue how that.
Well, I can say, yeah.
So those are the lines of the fillets.
I think so.
Oh my God, look at that side angle. Jesus Christ. Wow. Yeah, but yeah, definitely those lines are the fillets. Because if you look at the actual 3D model, they line up with the fillets. Yeah, I don't know what are those. They're like dotted lines and dashed lines, and I'm not sure what that's about.
I know. I'll play with it. I want to bring it up to him Monday, so.
Yeah, I mean that aside from the side panels, that's pretty much it.
I think I'm going to do some acrylic side panels on mine, too. The only problem with doing acrylic side panels on mine is I kind of wanted to keep one side open, but just so I could slide stock in and out from that.
Yeah.
But-
If you look at the complete model, they have handles on the top, so they slide right out. Although you can't do that with your setup. You can
No.
do like brushes all the way across the bottom.
Yeah, I'll think of something. I don't know. I'm definitely going to do a complete one on one side. What I do on the other yet, I don't know.
So
If they
you're
were,
trying to slide it in lengthwise, not.
yeah, just because 9 times out of 10 it could be up against a wall on the long side, one of the long edges.
You have mid-span
so-
supports, right?
I do, yeah.
Okay.
So that prevents me from doing that now, and I really kind of need them.
Yeah, for sure.
It made a huge difference in the oscillations and the harmonics. Yours is 500, Tony?
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, so you haven't been able to make anything lately because you don't have a router.
Yeah, about the last week.
No word on those tail lights?
No, I got one guy harping on me to make a set for him. He's a local guy from a buddy from the car club. He's got a Camaro and he's also got a Cobra. So he bought the bezels from the other guy that was doing the bezels. And I already told him, I'm like, these are going to be like $400 because I'm making one. And these people think that custom stuff can be had for the price of something you can find on Amazon or eBay. It's like, no.
No.
I'm not making thousands at a time in China. I'm making one at a time. And actually, 400 would be cheap. Unfortunately.
How long do you think it takes you to make one?
Well, I had to, so I've got to fabricate the housing. I got to cut the housing. Then I have to cut the buckets that hold the lights. Then I have to wrap LED tape around each bucket, solder lead wires onto it, build the circuit board, put the circuit board in the housing, wire everything up, cut the lens, thread the lens, and do that 3 more times.
Yeah, even at 25 an hour, which would be low, I think. But
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to, I got one of my plastic vendors from the day job to quote it. I think it was like $37 or something like that, which is, I think, cheaper than my time would be for those. But, I never, if there was interest, then I'd be able to do a bigger quantity or get the price down. But I really got like 2 responses. Plus, I never heard back from the guy that was supposedly going to put him in this magazine build.
Yeah, I wonder whatever happened to that.
I stopped monitoring because I just gave up. When I didn't hear from him after SEMA, it's like, all right, he's gone. I saw a few pictures from SEMA, but at that point, it was crunch time for the rest of the car, and they left the lights for last, so the lights weren't operational for SEMA. So that was kind of shitty.
Yeah, I was hoping Anthony was, or I was hoping Andrew was going to join so that we could talk to him about Linux CNC.
Did he just start with that?
Well, he's getting parts together,
Ah,
and I'd already sent him stuff to do it. So
parts?
yeah,
Oh, nice.
so he's not far. I think all he really, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think all he needed was the computer set up.
Which he's got, right?
Yeah, I think that was all he needed. So we'll see. It shouldn't take him long to get running.
No, and then I offered up my configuration too.
Yeah, I mean, it shouldn't take him too long. I wonder what the angular dimension is here. I wonder if I can.
You modeling?
I'm curious to know on those I'm curious to know the drawing on of those the diverter. Curious to know what the angular spacing is of those lobes that come out, but I don't know how to. Trying to figure out the angular dimensioning tool here in Fusion.
Yeah, like I said, I have no idea how to. I can draw it, but I don't know how to like convert that to DXF or DWG or anything. I need to learn.
I don't know how to do what?
Basically, convert that to a flat drawing that so your machinist guy could recreate them.
Oh, that's not terribly hard. You just go new drawing from design and you just start adding your views that you want.
Yeah, but it's just the dimensions and not forgetting key ones, right?
Yeah, and I always do, and he tells me. And then pats me on the back. John, you forgot another one. He's so funny. I tell you, he wants to take me. He wants me to go to Vietnam with him next year. 2 weeks, we go to Vietnam together. I'd love it. It'd be fun. Yeah, it'd be awesome. And to go there with somebody who's from there, oh my god, that'd be awesome. That would be awesome.
Whatever you do, don't